हिंदी के लिए एक दबाई है, इंग्लिश के लिए 2 दबाई है। दो ठीक है। Hello guys, welcome to the Spark Talk. So today we are having Sujith Pastor with us. Hello Pastor, how are you?
Oh,
It's just a Gen Z
okay.
thing you have to do. Yeah.
Okay. எந்த வேலை இருக்கு?
So tell me Pastor, how's the day going on?
Good. Yeah, last week all these
I
days.
saw you in Delhi. So how was the event there?
Oh yeah, it was pretty good. So we were collaborating with the church over there.
Okay,
We were
that's
doing church.
interesting.
I
Yeah.
mean, then we were helping with the
Mhm.
kids and teens camp over there. So it
Oh,
was great.
interesting. Yeah. So let's get into the questions. So, Pastor, one of my friend, that is close friend, he's going through such emotional challenges because he has lost someone very nearest to him. So, do you got any advice like how to deal with such situation? And do you got any messages for our youths today?
Well, I think that's a very important question
Yeah.
that you ask. I think emotional pain is something that many young people, and especially in India, many of the young people, they go through this particular thing. And you have spoken about grief.
True.
So emotional pain of different things that might be of the words that been spoken, actions that have been done, various things. So rejections and things. So there are 6 causes of emotional pain. One is guilt is there, rejection is there, failure is there, brooding, loneliness, and couple of things. So you are now talking about grief.
True.
And so grief is a very sensitive thing, and a grief is something like emotional pain that if it's not dealt properly, people do suffer and struggle with that thing. So physical pain, after some time, if it's treated, I think
It
you might
gets
have known.
treated,
Yeah, it gets sorted, it gets healed. But emotional pain, if it's not dealt a proper way, it affects
Can
your
lead to
life,
anything.
your career, your studies, your family, your marriage. It affects a lot. So that's something that you need to do. So I think the first thing that especially in the grief, if you're dealing with grief, is something like you need to accept it. Like yes, this happened. And with that acceptance, um it is all also not running away from that. Like, for example, yes, I know that this happened, I know. Now what's next? So running away is like, you can't accept it. And you if, for example, you don't want to go to that home where you spend the time with them. Every time when you think about them, you feel, see, these are all emotions. It's bound to happen. So one thing is you accept it. Second thing, it's okay to express. You want to cry. Just like anger or love is an emotion, same way tears, crying is an emotion.
That's too flu.
Yeah, I think a lot of times we always think it's girls who cry and the boys don't cry. I think and there's people say real men don't cry. Real men do cry. They do cry. So you need to express a thing that yes, this has happened. Third, I would say give it to the hands of God. You can have n number of things, but give it in the hands of God, and God will take complete control. See, one thing is He will not just wipe off your tears, but the one thing that He will do is He will never let you cry alone.
True.
He would always be there. And I think I have heard stories like that, where for those people who have lost their dear ones, and then they were sitting alone, and they were sitting in the presence of God, they really felt the presence of God, and that's how deep, that's so intense. So God will always be with them. So without God, that pain is more of a burden. Like, you always carry, you feel you don't like to study, you don't like to go to work. Every day you feel like, oh, I just want to die. I just want to do. Because why? Because you haven't given to God. But when you give to God, it becomes a testimony where you will inspire many others and say, hey, I had a past like this, I had something like this, I had a pain like this, but God really helped me. And That's where some of the great history makers
True.
have made their stories. It's not that they've been through all good things. They lost people. They lost dear and near ones. Yeah, and another thing, it's a process. The community also will say, the family also will say, oh, you need to get out. It's a process.
Mm.
It might take 6 months, yeah, but make sure you come out of it every day. Ask God, God, help me in this. So it's a process. So as I mean, just imagine if you have fractured your bones, and it takes time to heal, right?
True.
Yeah, so that's the same way. It takes time, but make sure that you come. So in during this time, cherish their memories, celebrate their life. I think that's the way how we can go ahead. So don't give up. These things are bound to happen, but it
Mm.
is how we overcome it. Never get stuck with that, but be overcomers. And God has called us to be overcomers.
Lovely session. Small talk, so spark talk. So, if you want in one word, like how can you just share in one words? Like you have explained in detail. So, if you want in one word, so something.
One is accept,
Okay, accept.
express,
Okay.
that surrender,
Mm-hmm.
surrender God, and
And the
then
last.
fourth would be sharing, sharing it to
Mm.
the right kind of people.
True, very true.
Yeah.
Because if we are not having, if we don't accept the fact, like, okay, we lost someone, that's like somewhere we will not go forward, I guess, yeah, further. So I think acceptance is very much needed, and also like expressing your feelings to, like, the close one whom you actually trust, especially having a closer bond, like, trusting God in that process. I think that's very much needed,
Yes, yes,
because I know, like, if you talking about this topic, like, I went through, very well, like, however the situation was. So I've lost my deep like, nearest people. Not going in the detail, but yes, I have lost my nearest people, and going through that time, and still I go through a lot of those emotions, and still I face the problems. So yes, as you mentioned, like, acceptance is very much needed, because if we don't accept the fact, whatever happened and things, that's going to be very tough for us. And like, I think the time heals the more, and more than time, like, you should have a proper connection with God. Yes, yes, there were so many times that I have felt um the connection is getting like looser, like, somewhere or other, like, I feel like, okay, I'm going in that direction, but still God will never leave you,
yeah.
because as he will never forsake you. So trust in God. And yeah, Pastor, thank you so
Thank
much
you,
once again
thank
for
you,
this lovely session.
thank you,
Thank you. Yeah.
thank you so much.